Oh, no, you didn't. Looks like we got a new hire at the hypochondriac clinic, but I forgive you, girlfriend. But you really didn't think before deciding to exercise your gyneco uh, powers or whatever. Stepped out this morning and said you something to the effect that it's hard to repeat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's not probably actually residing in Pflugerville or from Pflugerville. Most likely she's from Austin. I can't tell whether or not my. I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish this anyway. Uh, she stepped out and said something like, "You need to be well, not even that hard. You need to be gone before the boss lady gets here." Hmm. I was awake before my alarm went off, and that's why actually I set up immediately because I wanted to check whether it was my jacket muffling the alarm or whether the volume had. Sometimes the volume will just when I'm moving around the volume will adjust downwards. It's also part of some app functions. Is backing off maximum volume. I usually keep it on maximum, but when I was set up at 6:30, the nurse who prides herself on being there exactly 6:20 every morning, not 6:19, not 6:21, 6:20 on the spot wasn't there at 6:30. So I just kind of thought to myself, and I think to myself, well, then, especially considering you can't see hardly more than a couple hundred feet, been 99% humidity all night, that surely the hypochondriacs are not going to come rushing to the clinic at 6 o'clock in the morning like they do sometimes, claiming, I got an appointment. When they don't make appointments. They told me themselves they don't make appointments. And then when a doctor shows up, he's always out of system, so the person has to pay cash for the doctor. Please, my own doctor didn't argue with my analysis of that clinic. It exists to keep rich hypochondriacs from flooding the emergency room here. She didn't say it aloud. Let's get that straight. I don't misquote people and stuff. I said she didn't argue with me. So this middle-aged black woman who obviously is a recent hire doesn't really get it that most of the people in there have some compassion for me. They know I am a Scott and White client. One of the reasons I've been on that bench a prolonged time is because Scott and White failed to take up the reins fully. Yeah, they sent me to a surgeon months ago, and he was a totally incompetent young man. And but my point is that the first person to arrive was 20 minutes late, and I knew right then nothing was going to be rolling immediately. People might come in, but they're going to be sitting there a while. And I actually stayed there, did not leave until the person that she's calling boss lady, who parks right in front of the side door. There's one side door, as I recall, and goes in. And I don't know whether it's male or female who actually runs the place, but girlfriend, next time you need to think. I had a very rough day yesterday. If you had noticed the speed I walked away with, you would have realized I didn't have to leave at all. All I have to do is call 911. It's been a long time since my back went out, but when it does, I don't have to go anywhere. You have to carry me by ambulance to the emergency room and give me morphine and shit like that to get me back to walking. When you see the wheelchair, think before you speak, girlfriend. Oh, no, you didn't. You need to be out of here before boss lady get here. She actually spoke in clear English, but her attitude was ghetto and power crazy. No other staff member has ever spoken to me in a tone like that or demanding that I leave immediately. She didn't say immediately, but you need to be out of here before the boss lady gets here. And that's bullshit. I know y'all weren't up and running really on time this morning. Y'all are fatigued. I've actually kept your schedule better than y'all have kept it. The only time y'all ever have a complaint is from some Karen who's afraid of COVID. Like COVID's still a real thing. You know, there's unusual amount of people here that wear masks and stuff. I've had several people that have approached me wearing a mask and asking me if they can like buy me some breakfast or something, and I'm going like, oh no, I wouldn't want. I'm thinking comedically, I wouldn't want breakfast from you. You're all infected with that mask and everything. That's just what I'm constantly trying to think of some funny comeback, but you know, I know there's somebody, because out of the 1,000 locals that watch, one of them's probably inside that clinic because they search for Scott and White, and it's going to come up. It's going to come up first because I get more views than the other. Anything else Scott and White related. Look, you need to be just nice to me. Be polite. This morning, my back was right on the edge of going. If I go into spasm, you're going to have an ambulance there. Don't rush me. I'm an old cripple. Wheelchair. First clue, wheelchair. You know, that's a very unchristian thing for you to be doing, is pushing around a 70-year-old man that you're supposed to know still has a broken arm and a torn out rotator cuff and rarely ever moves quickly and don't really have to move at all. All I have to do is manage to get the phone out of my pocket and push 911 or order her to call the ambulance, which they don't like calling it. But that's pretty much it, is that you're some kind of a social climber or something, thinking, you know, you're going to probably go in there and tell them, well, I cleaned up the bum outside. And she doesn't realize that half the people in there are going to react badly to what she says, not to her face, but they're going to think less of her because of her activities. She thinks she's doing something good when in fact what she's doing is immoral. And that's all I got to say is, oh no, you didn't.